Okay, so in last couple of classes, uh, we have been looking into the association. We have understood about the cardinality, right? These are the stuff we have seen. We understood what is the meaning of the different cardinality, what is the default behavior. So many stuff we have understood, and all those stuff were very important a point in order to understand the CDS in detail. We also saw that what's the limitation of CDS, right? And to avoid that limitation, SAP has given after NetWeaver 7.5 onwards, we got a tool called table function. It's a very powerful, whatever logic we want to embed, we can embed in our table function. Open item analysis scenario also, we can write the logic for the open item analysis. Anything we can do. Okay, anything we can do over there with the help of CDS table function. Okay, then we have seen what are the different inbuilt function, right? So under the inbuilt function, we have seen seal, floor, right? This is kind of stuff we have seen over there. We can also use the aggregate function like sum, mean, max, etc. Okay. Then we try to understand that one or two points where in the last class we got stuck, it was not working, but when again I tried it, started working, I didn't do anything over there. Sometimes it happens due to some memory issue or some buffer issue. I don't know exactly what creates the problem behind, but the same thing started running. I'll just show you the same once again. That was there in the different system. Now this is other system. The system is not working, so I will show you over here. I will create one CDS quickly. Okay, right click, new, and we are going to other, search here for CDS, give the data definition, click on the next, and then the package $tmp, I'm going to give tmp, and then the name, we can choose some CDS mb 03 my and underscore demo 4. Okay, the description here, I'm going to show the CDS. First we'll see the CDS association, that exposed association was not working properly, so I will show this one first, and then we will go for the then we will go for the OData part. OData was also, we were not able to activate the service in the last class, that we will see. First we'll see this one, and then there we will go. Okay, next, and we will choose a template for the association, define, click on this finish, and automatically this is the template we are having over here. Let's put the table over here as the data source. We'll give some good name over here. I'm going to give name the ZMB03 and SC11 and demo 5. Okay, so SQL view name we'll have to give over here. The other things we are just going to keep at as it is. Okay, and then the label is also fine. The define view name is also okay. As select from here, we are going to choose the table snwd underscore so underscore item. Okay, or simply we can choose snwd underscore so. We are going to put the association between sales order header table and sales order item table. Okay, and come over here, give the another table name snwd underscore so underscore I. Association for a single entry in the snwd underscore so table, we can have one or more than one entry. Okay, it is also possible that whatever the entry here in this snwd underscore so is there, corresponding to that we may not have even a single entry also. So it can have zero or multiple entry, right? This is the header table. This is the item table. Item table can have zero or multiple entry, depends. Okay. So all the header table, it is not necessary to have, but generally it will be having at least one entry, right? Because that is the concept of item, right? If you have created some header data, certainly it must have some at least one, so keeping that thing in mind, I'm just going to give one dot dot a star, right? And we can give the association name. We start with generally as a gold standard, starting with underscore. Okay, so header item, the name of the association, I have given it over here. On dollar projection, what is this dollar projection? Dollar projection is nothing but whatever you are going to project the field, from that field you can choose the field for purpose of join, right? So this dollar projection, you are looking this for the first time. So generally what uh, till now we have been using that, if this is the table we were giving over here, like, right, like this, and here we are having the node underscore key. So header table is having the node underscore key, and here the item table snwd underscore so underscore I, the relationship between this snwd underscore so and this has been defined as this. So we can use this association name over here, right? It's already there, and here we can give the, we know that it's a parent underscore key, right? Parent underscore key. Now here the node underscore key equal to parent underscore key. It's giving some error. Let's see what is the error. The column node key is not contained in the entity selection list. Okay. So as a thumb rule, we know that whatever the inner join, whatever the join condition we are having over here, that key field, that field must be over here in the selection list. Okay, so that's what it is telling. So node underscore key, I'm just going to give, and header uh, node key comma, and then header underscore item, and this is the association. This is known as the exposed association. There are two types of association. We know one is the ad hoc association and other is the exposed association. Ad hoc association will always put a join between the tables. Here we are having this table and other table is this, so it is going to have always the join in case of ad hoc association. So ad hoc association, when it works, do you remember when it works? Header underscore item, if we're going to access any data directly from the association, then it's going to work every time. Means every time, suppose for example you are going to display this particular amount field, right? So because it has to display the amount field every time, what it will do, that it has to put the inner join, right? It has to put the join. So association, whatever association we are having over here, by default it is the left outer join. By mistake I'm telling the inner join. Okay, it is by default the left outer join, and if we're going to give the condition, it must has to follow the condition, it must has to execute the condition, then only every time it will go and display this data. Okay, so let me check the syntax. Some warning is there, we can ignore. Activate this one, and the activation looks good over here. Finished, activation finished, it's fine. Press F8 and you can see that data is coming over here. Gross amount, the header node key, and gross amount is coming. So what actually I mean to tell, because here we have to display the data every time from this association, it must has to execute the join. Okay, every time. So this is, this is not good from the performance point of view. Suppose, if you want to get the related item detail. Okay, for a specific header, you want to set of item data at the time of demand. At that time, we can use the exposed association. Okay, this association is known as the ad hoc association. Okay, and this association, if you are going to use at the time of requirement, then it will go and put the left outer join only when it is required. Okay, check the syntax, activate this one. Okay, and now press F8. Here all the header data is coming, right? And if you want to see, if you just right click over here and follow association, so when it you can see that snwd underscore so underscore I, so that particular header data, it will fetch from this table and that will be shown to you. Okay, so here let me show you that data. Just a second. Parent underscore key, yeah, 167. I think now also it's not working, something wrong is there. Let's see here. Header underscore item, this is fine. Parent key, that is also okay. Let me give some more field over here. Node key and control space, give some biogid as customer, we can give as a biogrid, then comma, and it looks good here. snwd underscore so one dot star snwd underscore so as underscore header underscore item. Okay, so from this table I'm expecting whatever the parent key is over here, that it should take and it's going to, it should work, right? Like that it should work. One thing what I will do here, instead of directly giving the table name over here, let's give the field from here. Okay, so we can use the dollar projection in that case, association, because in this case it's not working correctly. We'll try with that dollar projection. Okay, just save it and check the syntax. This is another way of writing. This is another way of writing. So whatever the list is over here from this table, that same field we can use from by using the dollar projection. Okay, just check the syntax and activate this one, press F8, and now right click, follow association, right click once again, click on this button, double click over here, and this is here the parent key. Let's see the parent key over here. I'm clicking on the 168, it should display only the 168. Okay, again something is going wrong, something is going wrong. Okay, the node key dot parent key, it is fine, it looks better. Okay, I have created one, the same I have created a study. Let me check if I'm doing something mistake over here. So I'm having core data services, data definition, and somewhere I have created, yeah, this one I see thing, yeah, double click. So node key one dot star, that is fine. Here Odata publish, that is okay, this is fine. Yeah, press S snwd underscore so to snwd underscore so underscore I as underscore item underscore, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. Press F8, and now for example 168 is there, right? Right click, follow association, and here it's coming fine, right? You can see that here it's working fine. What's the mistake I'm doing over there? Let me check. Header underscore item, right? This is what we are giving. Let me see this. The name node key is obscured by an alias. Okay, 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 okay. What actually we are doing the mistake over here, here we are using the alias, right? This alias we are supposed to use over here. That's what, we could have looked into this, warning. So that's why this particular join is not working properly. Okay. So I'm going to give this header underscore node underscore key over here, test it. And now that error is also not there, right? Save it, check the syntax and activate this one. Press effect, and now right click over here and we'll follow the association, double click. Here also this is not working. What's the wrong is going over here? 167. Can you check over here, right? What is the problem? Are you able to identify some, you know here, which one we are running? This is working fine, right? This is working fine. This one, let me close this. Once again I will run it and we will see what is the problem. Let me, we are having this too. Okay, good. So header underscore node key, this also we have given that warning is also now is fine. Underscore header dot item dot parent key, this.
Sir, here key is missing. Means node key before we have to put na key.
Okay, but I think this should not be a big problem. Let's check. That is the issue. Press F8, and here we are having some different sets of value. Right click, follow association, double click. Yeah, now it started working. Okay, that is the problem. Okay, I've never observed this one. This, after giving this key it started working. Okay, good. Okay, okay, fine. So when we are giving the key it's working. So key is very important, right? Key is very, very important, because without key it is not working properly, right? This association is not working properly without key. So that's the, you know that's the significance of key over here. We can realize that what is the significance of key. I never observed this one, and thank you others. It's really, this key is working over here. And when we are removing this key, let's check, let's cross verify, and then we will see how it's working. Right click and follow association, double click, and it's not working. Okay, that's the only difference and which was causing the problem. So generally we give the key, and that's why we could not realize this difference. Okay, I have been using many a times, but I never face such kind of problem, and this key is making such a big difference. Okay, so this can be also one important point, that if we are using the exposed association, we must have to use the key, whatever we are putting over here, for the join condition, we are supposed to use as a key. We must have to define that as a key, then only it will work properly. In last class also that was the problem. That's why the association was not coming properly. Generally
So
as a, yeah,
why we use dollar projection instead of like
we can directly use this one also. It will work fine. snwd underscore so, you can use control v and, you know control s. Okay, header underscore node underscore key. What is the problem over here? The column header node key is unknown. It's telling, okay, why it's telling unknown? Because if we are going to give the table over here, you must have to use the table field. Okay, so control V, and now if you click on the save button and check the syntax, activate this one, it is got successfully activated. So this is actually also going to give you the same result. If you right click over here and click on this follow association, right click, follow association, double click, and you can see that it is also giving you the same result. So that is the different way of representation. Actually, the different way of writing, that is the different way of writing, nothing else. Okay, so if we're going to use the projection, if we're going to use the projection, so if you I will show you some important stuff related with this projection. Projection means whatever you have listed out over here, from that you have to choose it. Okay, so what we have listed, node underscore key, and what node underscore key under here, this is the alias. So here you must have to give the alias name if we're going to use the you know projection, otherwise it will give you the warning. Okay, if you don't give this node underscore key, you will be able to activate and all, but that will give the warning. So better to use the alias name, and whatever under the projection is over here, or that field must be here. Even means whether this is a dollar projection, or if you are going to use this table, in both the cases, the condition, the join condition field must be listed over here inside the CDS entity list. Okay, save it and save it. So different way of writing. If if you
So
just control, yeah.
if I want to select from another table like means item table, that is
Hmm.
here we are using association of means exposed association underscore header underscore item.
Hmm.
Here we
Hmm.
can choose item from another means another table also, like
Yes, yes, we can use from another table also. You can use from another table also. You should know what is the relationship between this table and that table. That's it. And that correct relationship here we are supposed to specify in order to get the correct result. That's it. Okay.
okay.
You can use anything over here. Only the main thing is that the relationship should be the correct between this table. Okay, fine. So this is the exposed association. This is also known as the lazy join or the join on demand. So whenever we require to have the join with this table, you know snwd underscore so underscore I, that time it's going to put the join and it's going to give you the data. So you can see over here that currently it's going to give you data only from the snwd underscore so table, right? Here you can see, because in the list, in the cds element list, we have given only, you know in the selection field we have given only two, header node key and customer. So this two is coming over here. Okay, this two is coming over here. And if you want to see the specific item, we can double click over here and we are able to see all the item detail for that particular header, for that particular header node. Okay, so that's the important thing over here. Now the same thing we can use here. We know the concept of Odata service, right? We know the concept of Odata service. Why the Odata service is required? Odata service is required, as we have seen in our last class, that if you want to communicate with the external world, okay, if you want to communicate with the external world, so in order to communicate with the external world, here you are having the CDS, right? Here you are having the CDS, and if you want to represent your data to the external world, for example, you know UI5 or Fury or .NET, or Java based application, anything. If you want to expose, in that case, what actually we'll have to do, we must have to use the OData, because directly we will not be able to consume the CDS to this external world. Not only the CDS, any ABAP, you know, any ABAP related artifact. The CDS is also what? ABAP artifact. This is developed on the application layer, right? So the CDS, or suppose if you want to consume the some RFC or some BAPI or some data from the table, if you want to consume, you will not be able to directly get the data from this particular data source to this external world. They will not be able to understand directly. They understand the OData service, that's the open data service. Okay, that's why the open data, that's where the open data comes into the picture. Okay, so to create the OData, we are having the several way how we can create the OData, right? One is that we have seen in our last class, that using the SEGW, this is again a separate course. How there are different way of there are different types of OData services we are having. Here we are having the function import, association and navigation. Okay, so the beauty of actually the CDS with association is that here we are creating this association. You don't have to write any code. Either this association and navigation is tricky when you are going to create the association and navigation, related stuff, like for a particular header you want to get the item, right? List of item if you want to get. So for that purpose we'll have to create the association and navigation into this by going into this SEGW. And the implementation, the writing the code and all the concept is little tricky, but here with the help of CDS association you don't have to do anything, right? Simply what actually you'll have to do, what what annotation we have to do, at the rate of OData dot publish colon true. This only will have to use, and once you save and activate, automatically it will create a OData service in backend. You don't have to do such stuff over there, right? So one way is using the SEGW. Another way, there is a saddle way of creating SADL. Another is another way is restful ABAP. Restful ABAP way. So if you know how to create the RESTful ABAP application, so that way also it's you can create the OData service, and that ABAP artifact or ABAP object can be consumed by the external world, because you are going to create the OData. So this is the popular way. SCGW generally we go and create through this. All right, so here if you come and click on this, control 6 also you can press, and this GUI editor from here also we can open. Go to SCGW, and we have seen in our last class how to create the project and all everything. All right, again we will not see that one, but here I will show you that once you use this at the rate odata.publish colon true, automatically, you know the service OData service will have been created. It have been created. Okay, so if you put the cursor over here, I have already activated. If you put the cursor, what it's telling, just observe the name node key is obscured by the alias. Okay, where we are doing here, okay, here we are doing, right? Remove this, close this one, close this. Okay, this is the one. Once again I'm going to check it and activate it. It's got activated. Activation is successful. Put the cursor over here and see, yeah, what it's telling, that multiple markers at this line. View has generated the objects, right? It is telling view has generated the objects, but service is not active. So we have to manually go to the T code. A T code is there, and there we have to go, and we have to manually activate this service. That is the one time activity that we'll have to do, right? So when we create through SCGW also, we have to activate the service, right? We have seen that how we can know how we can uh, how we can register and registering the service means activating the service. Okay, so we have seen that we gone way over here, we went into this service maintenance, right, and double clicked over here and register the service. Like that we have done directly. What you can do that, there is a T code. If you click on this register also, it will take you to that T code only, or the T code name is nothing but slash IWFND underscore MAINT underscore not underscore serve only, right? Mint underscore serve. I think, let me check if it is working. This is not the correct T code. SC93 will go, and we will give slash IWFND underscore MAINT. Okay, this one, the main underscore service. Run this one, it will open that particular system over here only, and click on this add service, right? And the technical service name over here, you'll have to give the name of, so what will be the name of that service? What will be the name of service? So the naming convention of that CDS service will be the name of the CDS. Copy this and paste it over here, and underscore CDS, add one extra, add this underscore CDS, add this extra. This will be your, press enter, and we are not able to see. Let me select this local maybe and press enter. Yeah, now we are able to see that this is the service we have created. What we'll have to do that, this service will have to, add, we have to register this one. Once you will register, automatically it will be activated, or manually you will have to activate. Okay, so we'll see that one. So just observe the name is correct, right? This is the same, this one is the same service, right? Underscore CDS is there, so that's the correct service. Select over, click over here, or this select and click on this add selected service. Once you will do, it will ask that where you want to activate the service. Suppose if you want to transport into the another system, you must have to provide the productive package over here, or else you can use the local object if you don't want to transport. Click on this OK button. Once you will click, you can see that the service was created and its metadata was loaded successfully, right? Service has been created and metadata was loaded successfully. This one time activity we have completed, and now from here service is gone. That means it has been registered. Go back and click on this filter button, or you can search it as you put the filter. We can use it over here. Click on this external service, and I'm going to search my service over here, and this is the service now is over here. Let's see if it is activated or not, right? This ICF nodes you can see over here, this is actually responsible for external communication. This node ICF node, internet communication framework nodes, this particular, if it is turned green it is fine. If it is not turned green, what you can do that, you can come and activate over here. Okay, you can come and activate over here. So generally it will be activated. If it is in yellow or red color, something like that, you can come and try activating from here. This must be in the green status, then only it will work properly. Means then only you will be able to consume this Odata service from your UI5 application or Fury application, like that. Okay, now I want to test this service. So we can use this SAP Gateway Client. Click on this button and it will open the SAP Gateway Client. Okay, and click on this allow. This SAP Gateway Client has been opened, and now run this one. Let us see if it is loading the metadata or not. It's loading some data or not. Okay, once it will load something, we'll see about the metadata. Also you'll see that whether means how it's going to display the data. And the same service, what we can do that we can utilize from the UI5 application or from the Fury application. And here you can see that it's working fine. The status code is 200. 200 means successful. That means it's working properly. There is no problem, right? There is no problem. If you want to see in the JSON format, we can see, we can look into the JSON format also, right? Click on this. I have just given equal to JSON and pressed enter. It's formatting the data into the JSON format. Okay, and some error is there. Dollar format equal to JSON. Let me do one thing here. It's seems case sensitive. Press enter and let us see. Yeah, and this time it is fine. So we are supposed to give into the a small JSON, capital it does not, because all this is the case sensitive. Okay, this URI is the case sensitive. So now here you can see that it's telling that entity sets. What is the entity sets it has created? SNWD underscore SO underscore I, and this one, this is the list of entity set which has been created. Okay, list of entity set has been created. Two entity set has been created, and which is responsible for giving the data to you. Okay, now if you want to see the metadata, we can just use the metadata. Press enter and you will be able to see the metadata. Okay, yeah, some problem is here. Let me do one thing. We'll take this add URI option, and from here we'll see that dollar metadata. Okay, some spelling problem was there, some typo problem was there. Press click on this execute button, and this time it's going to load you the metadata. Okay, so metadata is nothing but if you want to see what are the data inside that entity set, what has been exposed to the association, all this information you will be able to see over here. Okay, so let's put into the JSON format. It will be good. Okay, so dollar format equal to JSON. Okay, it's telling that metadata is only available in XML format. We can't do anything over here. So let's do one thing, come over here. And now I will just show you this metadata. Okay, so here you can see that entity type name, what's the entity type it has automatically created. Association name also it will show you. Okay, association name also it will show you. You can see that association, right? So what's the association it has created automatically, like the association name automatically it has created everything for you. You don't have to do that much exercise. That's the reason CDS is so popular, and this can be consumed in master detail page application of the Fury. I will take one example. I show you in the maybe in next class or next to next class. Okay, so just to understand here, like how you can create this OData. Okay, the same OData service we can consume in our Fury application or UI5 application. It's very easy. It's very easy to consume. Okay, now going forward to another topic, that's the hot topic for the today, and that name is the VDM. Okay, virtual data model. That's the very important topic nowadays, and this has been the standard. When we are going to create any CDS, we have to keep in the mind that we have to keep in the mind that we are supposed to follow the VDM standards. Okay, so we'll be looking into the VDM. For that, let's summarize what we learned over here. So if you want to expose the OData, if you want to expose the CDS to OData, what annotation, this is also very important interview question. Okay, what annotation is used? You'll have to tell, at the rate of OData dot publish colon true. This annotation we are supposed to use. Okay, what one time activity we are supposed to follow, what one time activity we are supposed to follow after publishing in the OData. Okay, so your answer should be, you'll have to register the service, register the service and activate it. So this should be your answer. Register the service and activate it. How to do this? What is the T code? What is the T code to register and activate the service? So this should be, at least it should be table to slash IWFND slash mint underscore service, it was right, service. So these are some important takeout from this chapter what we have discussed. Okay, and in association, one important point, just we have seen that we must have to use the key in order to work it properly. Also you can use the dollar projection, that is the another way of doing the writing the code. Okay, so if you see the standard SAP, if you see the standard SAP application, standard SAP CDS, you'll be able to understand, these are the gold standard how we are using over here. For example, I'll just show you over here. It's every time opening this one. Let me close this, cancel. Okay, so here control shift A, by pressing the control shift A, that means you are just opening from here. Okay, control shift A. So here if you see some standard CDS, for example I underscore material or something like that, okay, double click over here, you will be able to see that everywhere they are going to use this, a dollar projection. They could have used this one also, Mara, right? Because from the Mara they are going to use. But the benefit of this dollar projection means semantically it's more meaningful. Why more meaningful? Because whatever here we are giving that material, right? We are giving the alias over here. This alias, if you are going to use it over here, it will not give you any error, right? Means it will not give you any warning and the meaningful also. But if you're going to use the Mara over here, right? The Mara, if you write the Mara dot material, the system will not able to understand the material. System will be only able to understand this Matner. So Mara dot Matner you will have to write, you must have to write. But in dollar projection, this it gives you the flexibility to write the material. You can use the Matner also, there is no problem, but it will give you the flexibility to write the material. This is more semantically meaningful, this is more flexible. That's why it is one of the gold standard which SAP follows. So everywhere in SAP standard CDS, if you check, they use the dollar projection, right? So we are also supposed to follow the SAP standards, so our code looks better and more meaningful. Okay, fine. So this is the reason why we are supposed to use the dollar projection. Now the very important, this VDM. What is this VDM? VDM stands for virtual data model. Okay, VDM stands for VDM stands for virtual data model. What is the meaning of virtual data model? Virtual data model. Okay, what is the meaning of virtual data model? As we know that we are having the virtual memory, right? We are having the virtual world, right? So virtual memory means the memory which does not exist actually. Virtual world means just the imagination that world does not exist actually. Similarly, the virtual data model is the data model which does not exist actually, but we can achieve a data model, with the help of CDS. If we are going to if we are going to arrange the CDS, if we are going to follow some rules and regulations for a CDS while development of the CDS, if we are going to use some annotation, if we are going to use some instruction, annotation is nothing but an instruction, right? Some kind of, you are providing the metadata, you are providing some properties, you are defining some properties. So if you're going to define some certain property to a CDS, that CDS is going to behave like a data model. The CDS is going to behave like a data model. So VDM is nothing but the CDS only, but in defined in some certain ways, defined with the help of some specific annotation, and that annotation is going to make the CDS as a data model. Okay, that annotation is going to make that CDS as a data model. Okay, why that CDS? Why that CDS? Someone is having any question? Okay, fine.
No, Pankaj, this is yours.
Yeah, Firoj. Yes.
Virtual model means what is the exact we are using for virtual data model? The
Yeah.
exact
See.
definition.
Yes. Yes. So say.
Normal CDS view is there, association is there, no? One
Mm,
assumption.
yes, yes, I got your question. I will answer this question. Okay. So virtual data model, virtual data model. See, if you are having the CDS, if you are having the CDS over here, for example, let us suppose we are having the CDS. Okay. So this is CDS. We can use the association. We can use the inner join also. We can use the outer join, left outer join, right outer join. Every kind of flexibility we are having over here. And the CDS we can expose to the external world using the Odata services, right? We can expose this CDS to the external world using the Odata services using the annotation called at the rate of odata.publish, just we have seen, right? So using this we can do. Again, what is the need of this virtual data model? This is a good question. Why is virtual data model is needed? So there are several needs actually, right? CDS we have specifically as a data source, right? CDS is nothing but a data source because CDS view, if we're going to create some CDS view, I'm talking in sense of view. Okay, CDS is having the broader meaning. Okay, I'm talking in terms of view. When I'm talking CDS, when I'm telling CDS, that means I'm talking about the CDS view. Okay, so when CDS view we have like a data source, then what is the need of this virtual data model? Benefit of this virtual data model is that one is the better representation of the CDS. Okay, earlier before this VDM concept, the CDS was hodgepodge. Okay, it was not represented in the better way, means it was not modularized, it was not, you know specified in the nice way. Okay, its design was not the good, but with the concept of virtual data model, some certain rules and regulations come into the picture which improved the readability, which improved the maintainability, and which improved the performance as well, right? All this factor is going to, you know all this factor was the cause of getting the new concept of this virtual data model. One is the, better representation, better representation. So better representation means if you are going to follow this certain rule, everybody can understand what kind of CDS is there. Okay, maintainability is also, one of the key feature of this VDM. We'll see with the help of one example, you will be able to understand how beneficial this is. Okay, so better representation, maintainability, and the performance also we can improve. In the CDS, many CDS is very, very bad with respect to performance. If we follow this VDM model over there, we can achieve, we can avoid that performance issue. So that's why the VDM becomes the powerful at that particular place if we want to get the performance. So from the performance point of view, better representation, maintainability, and performance, you know this. And there are also more feature you can write it, like if we're going to use, VDM is also for the purpose of reusability. If your CDS is modularized, right? Better representation means what? Modularization, right? With the help of CDS, you can modularize modularize. That means your requirement you can modularize in a different CDS, and we can connect it together, right? When we have to build a building, what we do, we prepare the kitchen, we prepare the different rooms, we have bathroom, right? So first we prepare the different artifacts, then automatically it becomes a proper building. Similarly, different kinds of CDS we are going to build, and we are going to join them together. So this concept actually we are going to learn. So if something is modularized, the benefit of modularization is that reusability. You can reuse at many places. Okay, so reusability we can write. Okay, better representation, modularization, and reusability. If you have the function module, right, if you have the subroutine, you can use at many places. So function module, subroutine include, what are these? Or class methods, what are these are the perfect example of modularization. So if something is modularized, we can reuse. That's where the VDM comes into the also picture. Okay, so if everything is there, this everything is there, right? So understandability is also, like, if better representation and all these things is there, understandability is also automatically derived by all this fact. Okay, so maintainability and the performance, these are the important aspect of the virtual data model. Let's go and define the virtual data model. Okay, we'll write the definition of virtual data model. So virtual data model, so it is defined generally as it is nothing but proxy for the CDS. Means in backend there will be CDS only. In fact, this is the CDS only, but we are going to represent this in a certain way, so that just this is a concept only, nothing else. Okay, this is just a concept, but the main thing is the CDS only. We are going to represent CDS in an effective way, so that we can achieve the performance, we can use the modularity and reusability. Okay, it is nothing but proxy for the CDS. Okay, under proxy for the CDS, we can write under VDM CDS. So here under VDM CDS, arranged arranged and manipulated in a way so that, okay, it gives better representation of data, so that it gives better representation of data. You can define like this: representation of data. So this is the virtual data model. Okay, this is the virtual data model. This is one of the gold standard given by SAP, given by SAP. So whenever we are developing a CDS, we must have to keep in mind about this gold standard. Okay, why this gold standard is required? Why this gold standard is required? This data model, why it is required? So whenever data model comes into the picture, that means it's going to give the data for some particular application, right? It's going to give the data for the purpose of some application. So generally, if we're going to use this VDM, okay, you can use for the embedded analytics. Okay, this virtual meta model, whenever you have a requirement to develop the app for the embedded analytics, so you can develop your CDS keeping in mind that you have to develop the virtual data model in mind. You have to keep in mind that you have to develop the virtual meta model which can be consumed by the S4 system or by the BI or BW Fox. That's why BI or BW is now having not more demand compared to the earlier days. BI or BW, because now the system, everything, the organization who is having S4 HANA, this is having the concept called embedded analytics. So if organization is already spending so much on the S4 HANA, why they will go for the separate system of BI or BW? We can use the embedded analytics feature of S4 HANA using the CDS, and CDS is so flexible, right? CDS is so flexible, so it's nowadays more powerful tool which is replacing the BI or BW, a separate system, separate cost, extra cost. That's why the embedded analytics, when you are going to use the embedded analytics in S4 HANA system, or suppose you're in S4 HANA system, or sometimes what will happen that your BA or BW colleague who is using your S4 HANA system, they will come and they will ask for a you know transient provider. Transient provider is nothing but it's a kind of object which is which will give you the data representation, which with the help of which you can get the data. Okay, so that is actually known as the fact table. Okay, that is a kind of a fact table, that is a kind of cube, that is a kind of info provider. Transient you know provider, transient provider. Okay, so we can keep it both together over here, and here I can write it system S4 HANA system, BA or BW. Okay, so this generally this embedded analytics in S4 HANA or transient provider, such kind of stuff you have to develop. Basically, generally, we can use this feature, this virtual data model, we can create for that particular purpose. In general also we can have this concept in our mind when we are going to develop any CDS, because any CDS we are going to consume either in report or either in BA or BW or as a Odata service, right? So if we're going to develop any CDS or some sets of CDS we have to develop, we are supposed to keep in mind this virtual data model, not only for this. Okay, not only for this, because it's going to give you know a lot of benefit in terms of performance, maintainability, modularization, and all those things. What are the different types of virtual data model? How to build the virtual data model? Okay, how to build the virtual data model? and what are the different types of virtual model. Both are complementary to each other. Once you understand what are the different types of virtual data model, it will be easy for us to you know uh, understand how we can define, how we can develop a virtual data model. So one each, we are having the private, another we are having the basic, and another we are having the consumption. There are three types of virtual data model. There are three types of virtual data model we are having. Okay, there
Pankaj,
are.
sorry for small doubt.
Yes, yeah, please go ahead.
Consumption means consumption CDS it will come in VDM model or
Yeah, yes, consumption means, see, you are having the various annotation, right? You
yes,
are
yes.
having the various annotations. So at the rate of VDM dot type, if we're going to mark that as a consumption, we will see that one. Once we will see one
Okay.
example, the every doubt will be clear.
Okay.
Okay, just
Okay.
hold for a while, you will be able to understand this concept. It's easy. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, again, this basic VDM has been divided into two parts. This basic VDM has been divided into two parts. One is, you know, uh, private, basic, and consumption. Here I did one mistake. It's actually interface view. Okay, private view, interface view, and the consumption view. There are three main part of this VDM. Interface has been divided into two parts. Interface has been divided into two parts. One is the basic VDM, one is the basic VDM, and another is the composite view. Okay, basic and composite. So interface has been divided into two subcategory, basic and composite. This is the private, this is the consumption. What is the different meaning of this private? Okay, what is the different meaning of this private, interface, and consumption? What is the use? Use of this is, if something is marked as private when you are developing, when you are developing a CDS view, and if you are going to start the name with ZP, okay, generally SAP starts the private name with P, but we will not be able to do so. So ZP underscore, or we can start with ZP underscore. So if something is private, we are not supposed to use that one. We are not supposed to use that one, right? We are not supposed to use that one if something is private. You can use, but SAP does not give you the guarantee. Suppose there is a standard, for example, I will show you. For example, P underscore, there will be several, CDS view. There will be several CDS view. You can see, let me show you some P underscore material related or something. Here you can see the P underscore material aggregation data definition. This P underscore material info, double click over here, and you can see that the name is going to be start with P. If the name is going to start with P, that means this is the private CDS view. Okay, there is no extra annotation or something like that. There is no extra annotation, or but only the thing is here, at the rate of VDM dot private equal to true. So if the naming convention at the rate of VDM dot private, this extra one extra annotation, if you want you can give this one, or probably you can not give also. I have not created any private CDS view, but we can explore this one, that if this is necessary, if this is necessary to give at the rate of VDM dot private colon true. But what I understand with my experience, that this is not necessary. If we are going to give this P underscore material info, okay, if we're going to write like this P underscore material info, or if we're going to give P underscore something, some SAP has given you some another CDS starting with this, right? SAP has given you some another a lot many CDS has been started with P underscore, right? Here also the @ VDM dot private colon true is there, right? Just this need to be checked. I'm not sure about this. I think it is important because everywhere we are able to see over here. So maybe we can give that one. But the meaning of private means that we are not supposed to use the CDS in our CDS. If we're going to use, it may allow you, but anytime SAP can come and destruct this one. They can today it is there and tomorrow they can remove this, you know they can remove this CDS. And private once this private CDS view is removed, and if you have used in your CDS, your CDVS will go into dump, or it will not give you the data, right? It will start giving you the error because that private CDS is not there. So if something is private CDS, the main important part is there. If some CDS is private, then we are not supposed to use. We are not supposed to use. Okay. If you also want to make some CDS as a private, we can use that naming convention starting with ZP underscore and maybe probably that @ VDM dot private, VDM dot private colon true. And with the help of this annotation and the naming convention, other people will understand, okay, this is the private view we are not supposed to use because it can be, in the future, this can be changed in changed in the destructive way. It can be removed also, or the feature which currently what it is providing in the future, it will not provide that feature which is currently existing over there. Okay, so the main point is over here that we are not supposed to use the private view. Okay, if some private view is there, that's the main part. It may be destructive in the future, it can be removed in the future. But if you have the interface view, so whenever you have the interface view, it's going to start with private will be start with P underscore, interface is going to be start with I underscore. Okay, and the consumption view is going to start with C underscore. Okay, so if some view is there starting with I underscore, that means the meaning of that means that is the interface view, and that view you can use in your development without any second thought, without thinking anything. You can use in your development. If you want to reuse some CDS, we can reuse the CDS, right? We can put the select query on the CDS, we can extend the CDS. I think extension I have not taught you. Maybe I will teach you quickly what is the extension of the CDS. Let me quickly create one CDS over here and I will show you how to extend a CDS. Right click and new, and then go to the CDS ZMB03 demo 4. We can give the 5 extended CDS. So why this extended CDS? Again, this is for the reusability purpose, right? If you have some CDS, suppose you have some standard CDS, and if you want to extend that one in your CDS, okay, that as per a kind of enhancement, if you want to enhance your existing CDS, if you want to enhance your existing CDS, that can be done. Okay, so here extension, you will get one extend view, this option extend view, click on this finish button and this view can be extended. For example, I want to extend my existing CDS view over here. I'll come over here and paste it. Okay, so this view I want to extend with ZMB03 my demo 05, and here just you will have to remove this one, control space, and the barcode, the extra field, whichever field I have not given over here, buyer GUID I have given, right? I want to add some extra field. Okay, so what you can do that you can add some extra field. So changed at, give the comma, control space, changed by. So this kind of stuff we can do. It's very easy. The SQL view append name, you can see that it is telling that SQL view append name. It is a kind of append in existing view itself. What is the existing view? We have the, you know, this view is the existing view. I want to extend this view with this append. Okay, the name of the city is going to be the different, you know, going to be the different, but the actual CDS is this one only. Okay, what I mean to tell that, I will just explain this one here. ZMB03 append, something like that I have given is the 11 SQL view, and the extended CDS, this is fine, this is fine. Check the syntax and activate this one. Okay, if you press the effect here, you can see that when I'm here, this CDS is now has been extended, right? This CDS has been now extended. Press effect over here, and if you press, you can see that changed at and change by, which one I'm executing. I'm executing this CDS, right? This CDS I'm executing, and I'm getting what? This changed at and changed by. What extension I have done? Changed at and changed by with which name? ZMB03 my. So just this is for the technical purpose. Okay, this is for the technical purpose. This CDS will not be existing in your CDS definition. This will not be existing. This is not a CDS. This is not a CDS. Your actual CDS is this one only. Your actual CDS is this one only. This is not the actual CDS. This is just a append name. This is the name of the append structure. This is the name of, you know, the include structure, the extra thing which you are including. So the actual artifact is this one only. Okay, so here we are running this one, we are getting the extra field, extra two fields. Once again I'm running this one, you can see that extra two fields you can get. Sometimes what happens that, you know, what people do the mistake that they think that this is the extra, you know, CDS, and you know, if you click, right click over here and click one, create one program, and if you put the select query over here, right, it will give you the error. Okay, so ZMB maybe 03 my demo 10 test, and if you put select a star from this, you know, close this one, close this, it will not understand. It will not understand. I have activated and everything is activated, right? If you put it, it will not understand. Into table at the rate and data IT underscore tab. And how to display this one, we know. See here itself, it's giving that error, right? It is telling that it is unknown, is not declared as a table or projection view. Why? Because this is just a extended, you know, this is just the extension of this. Actually is this one, actually is this one. If we're going to put the select query on this, you know, instead of demo 5, you can use the 4. It will not give you the error. You can see that it's not giving the error, and extension also you will get. So cl demo underscore output, okay, and the value IT underscore tab, control S, control F2, control F3, same everything, every syntax, all the shortcut is the same as the SAP GUI. Okay, here you can see that it's giving the data changed at and changed by, right? So what I mean to say that you will have to put the select query on the original CDS only if you want to consume. Okay, okay, fine. So you
Pankaj,
can, yes,
we can extend the from standard CDS to, for example, if we want to add custom fields in a standard CDS view means.
Yeah, see here, it is I underscore material, one standard CDS we are having now, I underscore
Yes,
material,
sir.
right? Extend VDS with this, and just I'm going to, you know, control space and take some field over here. So many field is coming, right? Annotation, 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 min max. Okay, so from there, count. Let me do one thing. VDM, 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 VDM. I'm just looking into some CDS list. So your question is we can extend or not, right? We can
Yes,
extend.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. You can just try, you will be able to extend, because you are not going to delete anything from there, right? You are just going to add, so we can extend.
Why
Okay.
means some, for example, some CDS views are attached to Fury apps. Na?
Hmm.
If you want some custom fields means in for standard CDS view,
Yeah,
we
we
will
can
add
do
now.
that one. Okay. We can do. So here, we can take some another, CDS, which is the standard, and you can try I underscore material. One is I underscore material underscore text. Here we are not able to get. Let me do one thing. Come over here and select this I underscore material and see that this is the key. This material we are having some material type, this material group. Okay, so from on which it's getting the data from the Mara. Okay, because it's getting the data from Mara, all the field it is, they are almost MEINS, GWEI. Okay, yeah, you can just check this one, how you can do that. I don't have proper example at this point of time, but that is, you can try once. I believe that we can extend the standard also. Okay, now,
Okay.
yeah, now here you can see that for this interface we are having of two types, basic and composite. Okay, basic and composite. If you check this one, this I underscore material is also nothing but I underscore material is also nothing but what? This is the interface view, right? This is the interface view, I underscore material. What is the subcategory of this interface view? Subcategory of this interface view, you can see that at the rate vdm.view type is basic. Similarly, for this I underscore some another, cells, some one more is there, and that name is I underscore cells issue or something like that. It is there, cells order, you know, fulfillment issue. This one, sales order fulfillment issue. This is very frequently used, this is very frequently used CDS. One of the frequently used CDS is here, and I think this is the label mapping role. This, let me check. I underscore sales order fulfillment issue. I have opened something else. Let me open the correct one. Close another. Don't save, and Control Shift A. I sales order access control. I have choose the DCL CDS. Okay. So what I will do that sales order fulfillment. Okay, this one I was supposed to choose. Double click over here, and this is a very good example of the composite, VDM. This is the composite VDM, right? So this is again an interface view only. The subcategory is composite VDM. Okay, so this is the composite, and you can see that when we use the VDM here, this is the at the rate VDM dot view type is composite. So this is the main annotation. If you are going to use a VDM virtual data model, this is the main at the rate VDM dot view type at the rate VDM dot view type colon composite is going to be your main annotation. Remember this one, and then what you will have to, there is one more annotation. Just let me, yeah, uh, this is the important one, and another one is just optional. I will tell you the optional annotation what you can use. Okay, this is the main. what is going to tell you the data category and all is going to be optional, but there is having some another significance we will see. Here you can see that users type, data class, service quality, size category. These are the annotation. See here, data class, service quality, size category, right? These three annotation is for the purpose of improvement of performance. This is mainly responsible for performance. So if you already tell the size category, service quality and data class, then what it will do that, what it will do that, it will, automatically take care of the size of the data, the service quality, it represents the performance. All these three together is responsible for improvement of performance. Just by simply changing the service quality, you will be able to get the performance, the service quality. So if you want to improve the performance of a CDS, these three annotation, we should be expert how to use this annotation effectively. So we have to categorize our data class, means whatever the data we are going to fetch from the different table, what kind of data classes that we'll have to give, the different data class, right, we are having. Okay, the different data class we are having. So you can see that has control space. If you give the master, meta, mixed, organizational and transactional, these are the different data class you are having. Okay, we'll see this everything we are going to see. Let's close this one and go here in the theoretical part. Composite we have seen, basic we have seen, and the consumption. Okay, this consumption view is mainly used for the embedded analytics. Okay, this consumption view is going to be used mainly for the embedded analytics. So this consumption view, if we're going to use this consumption view, that means you can use this one mainly for the transient provider. Okay, this composite view we can use at the transient provider. Okay, and this one, the consumption view, can be used in the embedded analytics. What are the different annotation? Let's see with a different diagram. Okay, and for what purpose we are going to use that one, that will be also looking into. Okay, so better let me open one MS Paint, and there we can explain it in a better way. Okay, so I will show you the frequently used annotation over here in the VDM. Frequently used annotation in VDM. What is that? What is that? So the first is, you are going to use over here the VDM dot view type, right? This is the important one, very important. VDM dot view type. So one, you are going to use the hash basic, right? Either you can use the hash basic, or you can use the composite, or you can use the consumption, right? So three we can use. This is the basic and the most important annotation of the VDM. Then we are having for the performance improvement point of view, we are having at the rate of analytics dot data dot here actually at the rate of analytics dot data category is dimension factor cube. You can give the data category over here. What is the data category we can give? So it will improve the performance. Okay, it will improve the performance. And if we're going to give the data category as fact, and if your view type is composite, you can use it as a transient provider. What is the transient provider? We will see that one. What is that? You can consume actually in BA or BW tool. Okay, so dimension, fact, or cube. Okay, these three can be, and before that you can add the hash. So these three possible value we are having mainly, and then we are having the analytics dot query colon. This is true. If we're going to mark this one as a true, and if your view is consumption, and if we're going to mark this analytics.query as a true, you can use that one in your embedded analytics. Okay, we'll see that. Just let us note down the important, uh, annotation of this. At the rate of analytics data, one more we are having data extraction. You want to extract the data now, right? You want to extract the data extraction dot enabled colon has, it can be true or it can be has false. So if you want to extract the data to the backend, this should be true. And at the rate in analytics dot, and you can this is actually, we are having one more, that's name is the data category. Here at the rate of analytics data category, and here we are having the object model data category. So just we have seen in that particular example, right? Object model dot data category colon has, so it can be, it can be it can be text or hierarchy, two types. So this we can use it, hierarchy. So these are the important annotations. First, these are frequently used one. Okay, this is going to be frequently used. We'll be looking into this one a lot. Okay, now let's assume a scenario where we have to develop uh, VDM. Okay, we have to develop one VDM. So that requirement is, the use case what we are going to have, that we have to identify the most selling product. So let me give the requirement. We have the requirement that we have to identify the most selling product. Okay, what is the use case? Use case is to identify the, we have a use case. So use case, a scenario. For this scenario, we are going to develop the CDS using the VDM model. Okay, so the requirement is to develop a CDS using the VDM model on top of sales data. Okay, on top of sales data. So this is a requirement actually we are having. For this requirement, we are going to, we are going to define some basic CDS, right? Private CDS we are not supposed to do, right? We are not supposed to create the private CDS if you want to consume in another CDS, right? So some CDS we are going to develop it over here. Okay, so this will be a kind of CDS which we are having, and this CDS will be consuming. Okay, so this is the basic CDS, and on top of this basic CDS we are going to create the composite CDS, and on top of this composite CDS we are going to create the what, consumption CDS. So when we are going to create the basic CDS, when you are going to create the basic CDS, just we have seen that we are going to use the what annotation at the rate of what annotation will be used? Can you tell me? VDM, right? VDM dot view type colon basic. This annotation I'm going to use. Another annotation, so it all depends what kind of data you have. So if you have some master data, right, if you have the master data, in that case, if you have the master data, in that case you can create the basic CDS view. Okay, basic type of VDM, basic category of VDM we can create, right? If you have to put the select query on the master data. So master data is what? Product master, material master, right? Customer master. So such kind of data, if you want to put such the query on such kind of data, we are supposed to use this particular annotation. Means we are supposed to create the basic VDM. Okay, so here the data category also we can give. So what's the data category we can give? So we can give the object dot model. Okay, object dot model dot data category colon what? It depends what kinds of data you have. So you can have the master data. If you have the master data, you will have to give the dimension. Okay, so if you remember the concept when we were learning about the attribute view, there we understood what is the dimension, right? So dimension is nothing but if your data category is dimension, that means certainly you are going to deal with the master data. Dimension is nothing but for a different aspect of the transactional data, different aspect of the fact table, right? So different dimension of a transaction, like how much total sales happen for a particular material, right? How much total sales, this is going to give you what? How much total sales, it's going to give you what? Fact. This is the fact, this is the transactional data. How much total for a material, right? So material is dimension over here. For the material you are trying to find the dimension. Okay, so at the rate object model dot data category and dimension, if we're going to put the select query on this basic CDS, right, on the basic CDS, then this we can use. If we're having the text data, right, if you are having the text table, for example MAKTX, material text, here in our case we are having snwd underscore text, right? We are having snwd underscore text. So in this case what we can do, so why I'm preparing all this background, because we are having one master table snwd underscore pd for the product. We are having one master table for customer snwd underscore bp. Okay, again we have a master table for the text, right? snwd underscore text. So on all these three tables I'm going to put the select query. So for that we are supposed to use this particular annotation. Okay, so here I will just give you a brief idea that I'm putting the select query over here on snwd underscore bpa, right? This is my EPM model table which contains the information about all the customer. So here I'm going to put the select query on this, then snwd underscore I will put an inner join between snwd underscore bpa and snwd underscore ad. This is the address table. Okay, and so what kind of data is over here? This is a master data, right? Address is also not frequently changed, customer is also not frequently changed, right? So this kind of data comes under the category of master. That's why, and this we will put under the basic view. Why? Because we are not going to expose the list of customer, right? Simply we are not going to expose the list of customers. So this is just for the basic requirement. I want to fetch the data, and on top of such kind of data we are going to create the composite view. So just we are preparing the background over here, and here at the rate of VDM, dot view type colon, what we will be giving over here. Here we are going to get the text, right? We are going to get the text. For what? For what? We can get the address text, we can get the product text. So different text. The text table contains the text for different artifact. Okay, for example, what is the text for that particular product? Okay, so snwd underscore text is the table which will hold the information about the different product text. So here we will be putting we can get this, we can directly put the select query on the text. All right, so here the basic you'll have to use, and then what another annotation instead of this object model data category over here, right? Here you'll have to put the, because this is the text, generally we are going to give the annotation over here as text. Data category is what? Text. So there you will get the option text, and that will be selecting. Okay, and here one more we are having, that is snwd underscore pd. This is the product table, and this we can combine with this, whatever the in a basic CDS, in the basic VDM, you can use another basic VDM also, multiple basic VDM also you can use, there is no problem. Okay, in the basic VDM we can use the multiple basic VDM. Okay, so now what we are going to do that in snwd underscore pd, here we are going to put the select query on the product table. Okay, so snwd underscore pd is the product table. So what annotation we can use it over here? We can use at the rate vdm dot view type colon basic, and then the data category, again it's going to be the dimension only, right? Because the product is the master data. Okay, so we can put it like this. Just a second, let me copy this. Okay, so we'll be doing over here, and we'll create based upon this, we'll be creating one composite view over here. We'll be creating one composite view over here. Once you create a composite view, how it is possible to create a composite view? We are going to give the annotation over here. What annotation we'll be giving over here for the basic view? What annotation we can give? We can give over here the annotation at the rate vdm dot view type colon composite. So now it will become your composite view. And what's the meaning of this? This composite view, meaning of composite view means you can use the multiple basic view. So generally inside the basic view, what we do that we put the select query on the table. Okay, we put the select query on the table, direct we hit the database. Okay, direct we hit the get the data directly from the database, get the data directly from database. Generally this is the practice what we follow. Generally get the data from the database. If possible you can use the inner join also, left outer join, association, all this stuff we can use using the if required use what? Inner join, right? Join and association, you can write it over here. So basically what we are doing over here, when you have the basic view, you are going to interact with the database directly. So keeping in mind that when you are going to create a basic view, you are going to interact with the database, and based upon the database you are going to choose the data category, right? Database contains some certain kind of data. So based upon that, we are going to choose this data category. So this is for that purpose. So now your CDS is modularized, right? And if you have to use the multiple, basic view together, you can use under a composite view. Again, here also you can use the inner join and all. Directly also you can use here the table. You can use multiple basic view. Okay, you can use the multiple basic view over here in this composite, and also you can directly hit the database table over here. Okay, but better to hit the database table over here. That is the best practice, but here also you can do, right? Here also can do. Now here at the rate of VDM dot view type colon composite, it will become your composite view. And if you want to use this one in BI or BW tool, right, if you want to make it a transient provider, what you will have to do that, at the rate of analytics, actually this at the rate of analytics dot data category, this we will have to mark as a cube. This will have to mark as a cube. If you mark this as a cube, this will become a transient provider, and there is a T code, and that T code name is RSTR. I will write this T code over here, RSRTS underscore ODP underscore dis. Okay, you will be able to use this one directly, that consumption view, you will be able to use it over here. Okay, and you will be able to analyze the data. Okay, RSTRS underscore ODP underscore disp. Okay, RSTRS underscore ODP underscore disp is unknown. Why? Let me do one thing, slash NSC93 RS ODP. Okay, this actually press F8, and here you can see that Odata Service you can choose from here, this core ABAP core data service, and use buffer, this different name we are having, selection by query. You can click it over here and you can just run it. This I will show you in detail how we can use. You can come over here and you can analyze the data nicely. Okay, you can come, you can give this, actually it starts with some 2c underscore and whatever the CDS name is there. But before that, you will have to use this annotation at the rate of VDM dot view type colon composite and at the rate analytics dot data category colon cube. Okay, if you use these two annotation, it will be converted into the composite VDM, and that can be used using this particular transaction RST R RS RSRTS underscore ODP underscore ODS underscore is there in between. Okay, underscore is there in between. So like this, and once you are ready with this composite view, on top of composite view, you can create the consumption view. Okay, on top of composite view, you can use the consumption view here. So for the consumption view, what annotation will having at the rate VDM dot view type colon consumption. Very easy, consumption. If you know the concept, it's very easy to develop. At the rate, and then here a very important, analytics dot query colon true. You must have to mark this one. Once you use this two annotation, you can consume that particular, CDS in embedded analytics. So there also you are having a T code called RSRTS, and with the help of this T code directly, you will be able to consume this consumption view in the system. Okay, that's where the embedded analytics concepts come into the picture. Yes,
Pankaj,
Yeah.
embedded analytics means some the apps related something.
Yeah, embedded analytics means, see, we are having the S4 HANA system, right? We are having this S4 HANA system. If you see this S4 HANA system over here, right? We are having this S4 HANA system. So in this S4 HANA system itself, you are going to use for BI or BW purpose. Means S4 HANA system itself you are using as a BI or BW system. That means analytics kind of stuff you are going to do inside, analytics kind of things you are going to do inside the S4 HANA system only. You don't have a separate system. You don't have, earlier what we used to have, we have a BI or BW system separately. We used to have BI or BW system separately in order to use the analytics, in order to have the analytics, right? Analytics, if you have to do some analysis, if you have to analyze some 10 years back data, some 20 years back data, right? If you have to analyze large amount of data, for that purpose you have a separate system called BI or BW system. But now, with the invention of S4 HANA, you have the concept called embedded analytics, and this only two annotation you have to use, and you will be able to use the, embedded analytics. You don't require to have the, BI or BW system. That's the beauty of CDS. That's the beauty of S4 HANA product. That's why it is in more demand. Okay, is it clear, Firoz?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah, embedded means something is integrated. Okay, something is integrated in S4 HANA. That's why we tell it S4 HANA embedded analytics. So here, if you use this query, you will be able to use directly. Directly you can use also in Fury app. Directly you can consume that particular CDS in Fury app. Certainly you will require, this annotation also you will require, because directly will not be able to, you know at the rate odata dot publish colon true. This will be also required, right? Directly Fury app will not be able to understand, but TRS transaction, with the help of this transaction, you will be able to means you will be able to use it in your system. For the Fury app, these particular things we'll have to do. Okay, now this requirement we will have to achieve, and for this purpose we are going to, what we have, the different table I have noted it down over here. On this table we will go and write the select query. Okay, and we will create the CDS. Let's go and do that. So just one basic CDS I will create, and we will stop our session over here. Okay, right click, and the remaining we will see tomorrow. And other above CDS. Okay, here actually right click, new, go to this other, and CDS data definition, next, and package I can use the $TMP, and the name we can give Z. And you know that whenever you are going to create a basic CDS, you must have to start the name with I. Okay, this naming convention, this gold standard, you will have to follow in order to be efficient coder. You can give any name, but there is a meaning, there is a sense of giving a name starting with some particular alphabets. So readability will be improved. Actually, for other people, they will understand, oh, this is the basic series. Okay, they don't have to go inside and check the annotation and all, right? So that's the benefit. So JDI underscore, here I'm going to create on top of, just we have created some diagram over here. So here SNWD BPA and SNWD underscore AD, based upon this we are going to fetch the data. So business partner, that means the customer, and the address. So customer address, we can customer info, we can write, we can create the customer info. Okay, customer info, and here we can give the description customer information. Click on this next, click on this next, and the basic CDS, just we will select the template define view, finish, and this is fine. The view name, the customer info, that is fine. The data source name, the two table, what is the table? It was SNWD underscore BPA, and another table we were having called SNWD underscore address table. I want to get the customer information. So one customer can have one or multiple address, right? Or maybe for some customer address is not maintained, but generally it will not be having the case. So let's define the association. We are going to use the gold standard dollar projection. Give the association 0 dot dot star, okay, to uh, what is the table name is nwd underscore ad, okay. Give the name of the association. So this is the BPA2 address, right? So customer address, you can give customer address, and on dollar projection dot, what is the field we can get it over here? So in address you will have to go and check, and in BPA table you will have to go and check what is the common field, and based upon that we are going to, you know, get the data. Come quickly over here, go to /n se16n, and here is nwd underscore pda pd, okay. This is the pd actually, not pda. Sorry, we are putting on the business partner, right? Not the product. BPA, okay. BPA, we are having the BPA. Once again we can press enter and it's fine. Run this one. And here the generic node key is nothing but the unique identifier for this node key, okay. This node key, node underscore key, will go and check what is the, you know, field for this node key. So snwd underscore, or better, you know, what is the best thing, that you can go to the SE11 and we'll check the check table. That is the best actually. snwd underscore bp, okay. It's coming like this, it's coming like this, so no issue. Come over here, go here /so SE11, okay. snwd underscore bpa business partner and node key, and for this I want to see for which, you know, oh, here check table is not there, okay. But the address GUID, here you can see that actually I want to see the address, right? So address GUID is connected with the snwd underscore ad. So here the address GUID, and here in the snwd underscore ad, double click over here, and whatever the, here the node key. So address GUID of that particular table and node key of this particular table is going to be same, right? This is what we understand from the foreign key relationship, okay. So we got, now we are going to put that one and come over here, customer info we are going to create. So this dollar projection will take from which, this table, right? snwd underscore bpa. So here address control space, okay. Some error is coming, no problem, it's not able to understand. Let me see here, it's telling because it's not completed, okay. Remove this, okay. Dollar projection and control space is not working. We can give over here address underscore GUID equals to the name of the association, control V, full stop, and node underscore key, okay. Node underscore key. So the key we can give, now we'll not forget to give the key because association works properly with the key only, exposed association particularly, okay. So this address underscore GUID as address key, we can write comma, because I've changed the name here also you'll have to change, right? Because I'm using the projection, right? So whatever you have given the name, better to give this one, otherwise it will give you the warning. Okay, not a error but warning. Address underscore GUID, I'm keeping this one address. Okay, press enter, and now we can give some more field. Address GUID we have given. Now address type edge, address type, give the comma, then control space. We can get some another also, like company name BPA. Company name is coming from the which is this customer belongs to which company, right? As the customer company, we can give the customer company. So like that, we are fetching some information. If it is required, if require the more information, we'll get. Okay, so address GUID, customer address, company name, this will represent as a, you know, uh, customer. That's fine. Let me do one thing over here. This address is okay. In key also I'll put this one. Okay, the company name, and in key also will be keeping the, you know, the customer name. SNWD underscore BP is there, no? So control space, address GUID node key, it will be there. Node key, phone number, this one. Okay, edge, customer GUID, customer GUID, comma. So now it looks good, and now some warning is there. Let me see if the association customer can modify, that is fine. Here we can give the SQL name ZMB03 may see 11 demo 7. Okay, it's more than 16, is it? Select a sorter name. Okay, let's give only 03. Save it, and now it looks good. SNWD underscore BPA 0 star multiple address can have. Okay, what it is telling that association does not match to the on condition address key and the node key. Okay, node key is going to have a single entry. For each address key, it is going to have the single node key, right? So give over here, you know, max minimum one or maximum one, exactly one and only one, right? Exactly one and only one, because here node key is the key field, right? And here the address key, here the address key, one customer each have only the single address key, right? One customer can have a single address key generally. Okay, so that's why 1:1 we can keep it over here, save it and activate it. Now it is activated. Let's see if it's working fine. F8, and you can see that data is coming properly. So customer GUID is there, the customer company is nothing but the company, right? Company. And this the data we are getting. So first basic VDM we have prepared. Now we'll prepare the SNWD underscore text. We will simply putting the select query on the text, and based upon the text we'll be getting the product text. Okay, from this, and using all this basic we are going to use it over here, and same we are going to use it over here. Just you know, we are going to give the different annotation. Here also you'll have to use the annotation in order to make it, you know what, basic. So at the rate VDM dot, you know, type, at the rate of VDM dot type colon hash basic. Okay, let me check the spelling over here. Right, view type, actually it's a view type. So if you don't remember what you can do that, or if you are getting confused sometimes, control space, you will be able to see here the multiple option. Okay, here the last one is the view type. Control space you'll have to do, and then has the basic. This is one, and another annotation you'll have to give the category. What category? The analytics dot data category at the rate analytics and at the rate analytics dot data category. So this is control space, and the dimension will be choosing over here. Okay, just save it. So now it has become your CDS. And one more, if you want, you can keep it over here for the extraction purpose, so that it can be used for the extraction. That is nothing but that at the rate of analytics, okay, dot data extraction. Actually come over here, this is the data extraction dot enable is true. So this is the three is the important one. The first is the very important, you must have to provide in order to make it a basic, basic VDM. Okay, just save it and activate this one. It is now activated. Okay, it is now activated, and press save. Now this has been your basic VDM. Other we will be creating tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll be looking how to use this RSTR